My name is Rhapsody, and we're getting back into Dually here in the Bazaar. Come on, and give me Crit Core. You know what? I've never used Crit Core. Never. Is today going to be the day? Whoa, 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 whoa. That's Crit Core. This and items to the right of this have plus 15% crit chance. When you use any item to the left of this, charge this 1 second. When you crit with any item, charge this 1 second. Alia sells weapon. Oh, the lost crate though. I'm gonna take the experience in gold. Kyver drone versus Fanged Inglet and Pyro. Now, Kyver, do you have anything that I actually super care about? I know you have Lanshan. I know you have Insect Wing Stinger. Every 9 seconds, it attacks for 5 damage and slows an item for a second. No, not really. Eagle Talisman. When you sell this, your leftmost item gains 5% crit chance. But I guess I instead go for Fanged Inglet, who has the ability to give me... Can it give me the skill? I don't know if it can give me the skill. I've never gotten Fiery from Pyro. But Fanged Inglet could give me additional money by giving me a pelt. It could give me a weapon that I can attack with in the Fang. But it could also give me Deadly Eye, maybe. I don't know how that entirely works. Your weapons have plus 4% crit chance. And if it can give me that, that would be the best thing. Get him, Crit Core. Ooh, maybe we get an early light bulb and I can actually use that item. Every 3 seconds, give your adjacent items to it. Plus 4% crit chance, I believe. That's the bronze tier, of course. Gimme Fang. Or Deadly Eye, Deadly Eye, Deadly Eye, Deadly Eye, Fang. Alright. Rukon sells weapon skills. Yeah. No, weapon skills at this point are just going to be damage. They're not really going to be scaling. I'm going to go to middle. Give me an item I can use.
I'll help you find who does.
Weak point detector. Every 6 seconds, give your weapons 3 damage for the fight. When you slow, charge this for 2 seconds. It's also Chem Snail. When you slow, charge this for 3 seconds. And then Race Car. When you haste, charge this for 2 seconds. I'm really looking for damage. Should I buy Welding Helmet and Armadillo so I can win this next fight? Welding Helmet every 3 seconds, shield 6 and burn 1, and then Armadillo, when you shield, charge this for 2 seconds. I'm gonna do it. I'm not happy about it, but it does give me an actual chance to win this next fight, which I think otherwise I entirely lack. To study for an extra experience. I'll take that. Cinders for plus burn would give the Welding Helmet the ability to do some damage, but it still wouldn't be that much. I'm gonna take a shield item. Copper Red.
Oh, delivery's free. I like the exercise.
I suspect this is probably the most damage I can put on field. You've got a friend. You've got Brick Buddy, who's going to be giving you some good shielding. I've got a little bit of poison, but that poison's not really significant. And your shielding is scaling very well. I imagine I lose this. Yeah, the enemy's scaled up to about the same amount of health as I have. But they're going to get significantly more shielding consistently in the end of this. Oh, just! Woo! Yeah, I don't think I do that with a crit core. Monster Ranch. Yeah, why not? I'll go for 2 gold tier monster items. They're both scrap. Okay. Give me a tool from the workshop and make it duct tape. It's not duct tape, but if it was duct tape, things could have been different. Tent City Mare, augmented defenses would be incredible if I could get it. And I think I can win that fight without having to use my scrap, which is pretty important to me. Augmented defenses would be your shield items gain +1 shield. Whenever you sell a small item, increase this bonus by 1 shield. The enemy stuff doesn't scale up, so the fact that my shielding is already enough to keep me ahead of them is pretty encouraging. That said, I am very much looking for a way to pivot out of what I've currently got on board and try and put the crit core back on. Just sometimes you need something for the interim. Sharpening Stone. Sell this for 6 additional damage on your leftmost item. Fins for max health. Really? The fins for max health is good because it gives the 10 additional shielding. Get me away from this build, please. Midsworth, give me a duct tape. Ooh. Light bulb. Adjacent items gain. Oh. This is the silver version and it's doing the 4% crit chance. Okay. There's force field as well. Is there a world where I try and hard pivot into force field? I could sell 2, 2, 1, 1, 6, and then Sharpening Stone to increase the critical core. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I sell Armadillo and Welding Helmet and Battery and Copper Ed. I put the critical on board and then I give it some additional damage. I buy the Force Field. Now that the Force Field's on board, I can sell these scraps to increase its shielding significantly. And then I field Light Bulb.
And that's how a master merchant makes a sale.
Okay. This and the items to the right of this have plus 15% crit chance. I mean, 15% crit chance is nice. But if I put you all on the other side, Light Bulb will eventually give both of you crit chance. And when I crit with any item, it'll charge the critical core. And when I use any of the items on the left, it'll use the critical core. So this should get the critical core to activate significantly faster and significantly more often. 75 max HP is probably the play here, I think. Alright, Pajama. I sleep in a couple of you.
You should know, I'm a bit of a legend on Pelago.
I didn't know you could have them individually. Oh, okay. So you are going to destroy my light bulb, which is going to be annoying. Thankfully, I get to get 8% crit off of it first.
Next time, boys.
I mean,
Less blunder, more plunder.
I'm actually pretty comfortable with the pivot we made there. Aid in the mountain pass, keen to sell non-weapon items. It's still early enough that guiding the convoy for 2 gold 1 experience is a great idea, I believe. Bakun sells medium and large items. There's a couple mediums I'd love.
To my business.
Tesla coil, when you use an adjacent item, charge this for 2 seconds.
On behalf of the Grand Society of Mister. Anyway, thanks.
It's not bad. It's also not especially good, but I do believe I'm damage positive enough to take out the scout trooper. Although the scout trooper doesn't really have anything I care about except for an eagle talisman, which I can sell for 5% crit. Whereas the rogue scrapper still has scrap, and scrap is a huge hit for me right now. Junkyard Club is actually a pretty good hit. When you sell this, your weapons gain 6 damage. There's the Junkyard Club, and obviously the golden scrap upgrading the force field, not only upgrading the amount it shields me, but upgrading the amount of damage it puts out at the same time. Incredible. Yeah, this is pretty good. I like this build. Small weapon in barbed wire every 4 seconds. Deal 5 damage. When you shield, this gains 5 damage for the fight. Lost Crate is there again. Two income, or upgrade your leftmost bronze tier item. Critical Core, when it upgrades, is just going to upgrade its damage and also the crit chance it gives to items to the right of it. But because I'm scaling crit chance with Light Bulb, I suspect I don't care about that. Sharpening Stone for additional damage. None of these, except for the Critical Core, are going to stay on field the entire time. I'm going to take the 2 income. Middle sells medium tier items. There's a lot of medium items I'd like.
I want what's right for you.
I'll upgrade the Tesla Coil. Just gives it an additional 10 base damage, but an additional 10 base damage is an additional 20 when it crits. There's the Armadillo and Monitor Lizard when you haste Poison 1. Take a roll and... Welding Torch? When you shield, this item's cooldown is reduced. I mean, I don't think there's a good reason not to do that.
And I'll trot it to your door.
While you have shield, this item's cooldown is reduced by 50%. Okay.
I may be young for a
Bazaar Lord?
I've seen my share
What's a
of
Bazaar Lord? Oh. Fiery Cutlass. 40% crit chance. It's got a silencer and a star chart, so it's got a cooldown reduction as well. Unless it crits, which it hasn't really been doing to me, it's not gonna overwhelm my... It's not gonna overwhelm me. It's not gonna overwhelm my me.
Defeat does
Got
not
him.
defeat me.
Oh, I'm so glad, because we're definitely gonna need these early wins. This build can't go late. JJ sells items, Block Body sells a friend, Artisan Dunes, I could pay 5 in order to get 2 burn on this item. No, 10 damage on Tesla Coil. I mean, it's not bad, but I'm gonna go for items.
Profit 10.
Duct Tape, hello, it's good to see you. Security camera, your shield items have plus 20% crit chance by base. I'll buy duct tape. It's very cheap and it works into a lot of things. Bomb squad and induction Aegis. I'm gonna take the induction Aegis.
How about this weather? Oh, you're leaving. That's good.
So these are all here just to charge the crit core. The crit core doesn't need to give plus 15% crit chance to duct tape or induction Aegis. Neither of that is really a good idea. Tesla coil will activate faster with the induction Aegis next to it, but there we go. That's probably what we're looking for. Curio? We could get some additional max HP. Curio's nice. Some crit chance and stuff in there, but I don't feel very powerful. Give me some max HP. Just some max HP to go on with, please. Technovirus, Retiree, Outlands Dervish. None of these is ideal. Technovirus, you're gonna try and poison me, though. And you'll kill my small items on field, which is pretty bad. Retiree is almost entirely lacking in usefulness to us. Oh, actually, Outlands Dervish, you do have crit stuff. You've got the Shoeblade, which by base has 30% crit chance. And also the skill Keen Eye. Your items have plus 6% crit chance. Gimme! There are also, of course, the Clockwork Blades. You can sell these to reduce all items cooldowns by 2%. And Bar of Gold, sell that for gold. I do feel myself getting a lot weaker in comparison to the average enemy, so I don't even know if I could have taken on the other enemies. 2% cooldown reduction, nothing wrong with that. Loot items. Upgrade your leftmost silver tier item. I'm gonna trust in the light bulb. 6% crit chance. Ha ha ha. Set up the mountain pass, and I'm going to take a risky route here. Actually, no, we're so early. I'm going to get to 9 income. 9 income sounds great. Orion sells tools, docks, and weapons. Let's go to the docks and pick up a shield item. When you shield, charge this for 2 seconds, says Bushel. It heals 5. I could see a world where that ends up being like a really, really good item to put next to a Tesla coil or something like that. And it's like looping back into the run. I'll definitely hold it. I'm not sad to see it. All right, Sprinkles. How's he going? Aha. You have a gun. And that gun has lifesteal. And it's getting buffed by 30 damage every time the honing edge goes off. And you have 50% crit chance, which immediately worked. Well. I don't think I live. Oh, yeah, the poison finishes me off. Oof. Let me get the golden experience again. Ooh, 2 more income, shot. Gorgon Noble, not especially good at that. Sabertooth. I mean, diamond fangs are always a good idea, but I don't necessarily have a good way to access them. The Curvian Rocket Trooper. You do have some crit related material in here. Yeah. They've got an Eagle Talisman. When you sell this, your leftmost item gains 10% crit. They've got the Shadowed Cloak. When you use the item to the right of this, haste it for 3 seconds. If it's a weapon, it also gains damage. They've even got the Herculean Launcher. When this gains haste, it also gains 10% crit chance for the fight. Rocket Boots, because I am going to want to put haste on items eventually. Goggles, when this gains haste, give your items 6% crit chance for the fight. They've got a lot of stuff. I mean, they can't reload their... Oh, they can, of course. When you crit with an item, reload another item 1 ammo. They managed to do that. They actually got pretty close to winning that fight. Shadowed Cloak. Let me grab these 3 loot items. Shield, ammo, and some burn. Cool. I can tell you duct tape is definitely taking the scrap. Medium items. There's so many medium items that would help me rejig this board. We're not developing enough scaling in our shielding for force field to actually be how we deliver our primary damage, which is going to start being a problem pretty soon. Like, Shadowed Cloak in front of a barbed wire is probably significantly better. It'll gain damage not only from activating, but also it'll gain haste consistently. That haste means it'll attack every 2 seconds, giving it additional shielding for us from duct tape. Yeah, force field is long past its time on this board.
Welcome in, hon. What can I get you?
DJ Robot. When you buy this, get 3 nanobots. Those nanobots have 15 damage for each of the small items that you're running on board. Chem Snail and Brick Body. No. Race Call. When you haste, charges 2 seconds. I do think I buy Race Call. I don't think I put it out on the field yet. But it doesn't need to be on the field.
If it's not right for you, bring it back. I want you to be happy.
I don't have much haste on this field, but I will get some. At which point, it will probably be a much better Tesla coil. Curio with bronze tier junk items. I'm going to go for the Monster Ranch. I will sell the Clockwork Blades to give me the space to buy 2 gold tier monster loot items. I'll get 3 regeneration and 4 gold by selling one of them off. I do want the light bulb to be giving additional crit chance consistently to both of our attacks. You're right, it's not Hearthstone, buddy. It's part of the appeal. Alright. Well, they immediately froze two of my things with a haste and a poison at the same time. And I don't think I'm recovering from that. That's a lot of haste. That's a lot of poison. Alas, it happens. Nufu sells skills. Would you like to sell me anything related to critical charts? I mean, you've offered critical protector, but defensive stance, when you use a weapon, your shield items gain 3 shield for the fight. That's the ability to actually scale up some of my shielding. That seemed great to me. I want to sell the force field. I don't think I can go back to that at this point. I want to keep Bushel just in case, because I legitimately believe it could end up being really good. How much more shield am I going to put in this build? I'm going to sell gunpowder literally just to make space, because I need to go to the eating contest and take a full set of chocolate bars. There's no way I can deal with that lich. Way too much damage. Foreman? Forklift deal 50 damage for each item to the left of this. And then haste this and the items on the right for 2 seconds. Let's see if I even have to decide whether that's good. Didn't give it to me. I don't have to decide. Yeah! Power Sander. Adjacent weapons and shield items gain 6. Those cooldown is reduced. Give me 175 max HP, please. I deserve it. I've been very good. I gotta go to Alia.
Buy my weapons.
Rocket launcher. Every 6 seconds, deal 20 damage. And burn 4 with a multicast of 3. That would be a great tool to be between the Tesla coil and the shadowed cloak. I would take induction Aegis and barbed wire off the field to fulfill that. Okay.
Go make some more stories, then come back and tell me.
Lightbulb's not really having much impact here. It's giving crit chance to items that don't really care about having crit chance. I think we need the shielding modified from rocket launcher much more than the Tesla coil. So I definitely think this is still the setup. Hamlet, when you slow, charge this for a second. I could definitely see a world where I want to run that at some point. But it still takes 9 seconds to activate. I think I need so much investment in slow to make that work. Too much, in fact. I'll take a copy of Chris Army
Carry my
Knife just
weapon?
because
I fight alongside you.
we've got a defensive stance. I might find a pulse rifle, which would be a better option than rocket launcher. Pulse rifle activates every 4 seconds.
Nothing tiny, nothing huge. All about moderation.
Dianosaur. Every 8 seconds, deal 40 damage. If your enemy has at least 6 items, destroy a small item for the fight. There's also a monitor lizard here. And Chrono Barrier. Enemy cooldowns are increased by 1 second. I gotta be honest, I think I would do a lot better by just changing the critical core to something else. The critical core is currently not really fulfilling anything on the board. There's the pulse rifle, but it's also bronze tier. But also it scales a lot faster because I don't care about the burn from... do I care about the burn from rocket launcher? So rocket launcher says while your enemy has burn, this has double damage. So it will get 14 damage per additional trigger. So at the end of, what, a good multiplier, 12. At the end of 12 seconds, the rocket launcher has fired 3 times initially, another 3 times because of the haste, and then another 3 times because of the haste, right? So the 3 initial hits are for 20, 34, and then 48 damage. It's plus 14 each time. The pulse rifle activating faster is like I think it's too good to turn down because I still need this getting as many haste triggers as quickly as possible because that's what triggers Carl, and as many attacks as possible because that's what scales the duct tape.
Oh, I think you're really gonna enjoy that.
But this has now got to be adjacent to the only friend. Bold, but what if Tesla coil is worse than rocket launcher now? What if it is? I think it might be.
I used to offer a free ride home, but people thought it was weird.
I've got this additional crit chance modifier on the board that is not relevant. But they're all really good at scaling the damage for the duct tape. So Armadillo would have to be adjacent to Pulse Rifle. Pulse Rifle has to be adjacent to Shadowed Cloak and a friend. So that would put Armadillo in this position rather than next to, rather than the duct tape being between Pulse Rifle and Rocket Launcher, which would be the best position for Armadillo. We get 3 stacks of haste in 4 seconds, and then 3 stacks of haste every 2 seconds thereafter. So by the end of 10 seconds, we have had 3, 3, 3, 3, 12. 12 total stacks of haste have come out. 12 total stacks of haste is 3 activations of Race Carl. Okay. Now, Armadillo. We would have... Duct Tape. Getting 3 charges from Rocket Launcher. It can't get 3 charges from the Pulse Rifle as well. The Armadillo would go in that position instead. Armadillo activates itself in 6 seconds. It gets activated by another unit in 6 seconds, so it activates twice. Both of those activations give cooldown reduction to Armadillo. It gets close to activating for a 3rd time. I think Armadillo might be correct. When you shield, charge this for 2 seconds, says the bushel. In this arrangement, we slow down the Pulse Rifle again, but we get the damage back from the Rocket Launcher. We could take Race Carl off the field and easily pop the Armadillo on. Okay.
Oh, delivery's free. I like the exercise.
I don't think Light Bulb is really relevant to this build. I think this is the best field I can board. Board I can field. The weapons scale themselves. The shielding scales itself. It took a long time to get there, but I think this is the best iteration of what I currently have. Onion, good night, buddy.
Are you sure? Have you noticed I'm huge?
I'm putting you down. Ooh, that is a diamond tier beast of burden.
Well, I guess motivation isn't everything.
Thankfully, my shielding is incredible. We get there. I need more skills. Defensive stance is a huge, huge addition to this run. I want more. Give me more!
Send me your huge items. Price? Don't care.
Quixel, you may have DJ Robot. You may have Beta Ray. You might even have Alpha Ray. But you don't have anything I want. Why don't you... Ooh. Chris Army Knife we could get an upgrade on. I'm going to take that because I am possibly going to want Chris Army Knife instead of Armadillo at some point. I could certainly see that happening. All sells large items. I can't imagine fitting a large item on the board. Eating contest. I need health. I'll happily eat. I'll happily eat to get that health. When you shield, charge this 2 seconds. When you shield, charge this 2 seconds. Armadillo is a weapon and a friend, giving it the ability to augment the Pulse Rifle. The Armadillo as a weapon scales the duct tape, but it pales in comparison to the scaling that we're getting from the Pulse Rifle and the Rocket Launcher anyway. I wonder if there's a way to include bushel in this build, like it's that, right? But do I need bushel in this build? I don't know. I don't know. Gunpowder could end up being relevant to something, so I will keep it. It's just I have to free up another slot before I go to the eating contest. So I need to know what I'm getting rid of here. I don't want to get rid of the gunpowder because there is a world where it could be relevant. Getting a certain item that really wants just a little bit of additional max ammo to be super useful. They exist. They do exist. I'm going to get rid of the induction Aegis. I'm going to keep what we currently have. I'm going to get the 5 gold tiers. I think I beat Radiant Corsair. Thug has spices, which is an example of the kind of thing that I was just talking about. Bonk, best skill, would love Bonk. Junkyard Club even wouldn't be that bad to sell. But spices has ammo, max of 1, your weapons gain damage equal to your weakest weapons damage for the fight. Obviously not really good for us right now, but the kind of thing that really wants 2 additional max ammo. I'm going to fight the Radiant Corsair. I don't think it can beat me. They've got an anchor, but by the time their anchor is really doing stuff, I'm going to have so much shielding.
The whole bazaar will be my nest.
And if I could get Fiery Rebirth, oh boy. That'd be pretty good for us. Enemy hit me for 600 damage in the face with an anchor. How dare they? How rude. Bushel is definitely working as intended. Thankfully, my damage and shielding have both been scaling at the same time. Hell yeah.
Watch the horizon, matey.
Grappling hook. Every 7 seconds, deal 20 damage, and slow an item for 4 seconds. At least I get a bunch of experience. A shield item, 2 scrap. 2 scrap just to increase the duct tape by default. Does seem good. Upgrade the core? Really? I'll take the 2 scrap, thank you. Sell those for an additional 24 shielding from each of our first item activations. And all of the ones thereafter. It doesn't wear off. Kina sells non-weapon items. Curio sells bronze junk tier items. Show me some non-weapon items.
Not war.
Motherboard. Haste the core for 2 seconds. When the core gains haste, give it 10 damage for the fight. Thermal Lance, when this is hasted, it gains 2 burn for the fight, and the Mono Lizard. Every 5 seconds, haste the core for 2 seconds. Okay. And then when it gains haste, give it 10 damage for the fight. See, I could give it haste both with the Shadowed Cloak and with the Motherboard. So it would scale pretty quickly. The only thing is I don't defend myself alongside that. Not reasonably, at least. How much would I have to take off field to do that? Motherboard, critical core, 4 spaces. It's pretty hard to do. Especially given I want the weapons to go off as commonly as possible to scale my shielding. I'm gonna roll past it. Omega Ray is here. So Power Sander and Thrusters, all of which are going to be jumped past. Thank you.
Comes from a negative place.
Middle sells medium items. There's a couple of
I'll
those.
help you find who does.
Angry Balloon Bot. When you lose shield, this gains damage equal to 10% of the shield loss. Chem Snail and Ray Skull. No, thank you. There's missiles. Okay, that's great. When you use the core, reload this, says missiles. But missiles is every 3 seconds, multicast 2, which makes it much easier to field. Every 4 seconds, multicast 3, and also I have to have Chris Army Knife on the field. I could just take both of those off and field
If
missiles.
it's not right for you, bring it back. I want you to be happy.
Then I can even pop the critical core back on field. I mean, I'll give you the 2 additional max ammo, why not? Get rid of the grappling hook. My only damage scaling is coming from the Shadowed Cloak right now, so I don't really want to change anything about that. I mean, I can put Chris Army Knife on the board in the meantime. But the fact that nothing is gaining crit means the critical core is still not useful. I think after all this, the decision is still to take the pulse rifle off the board for missiles. But now I can field an additional friend again with the Armadillo. This does position us to possibly pivot back, though, which could be nice. Bushel, do I need the heal from Bushel? Actually, let's quickly check, because Bushel might be a good item not to sell until upgrade. Okay, never mind. Bushel doesn't have, it doesn't have alternative trigger conditions, which is like, if I enchant this, it doesn't say something like, when you shield, burn 5 or whatever, right? Like, instead, it just adds it to the base of it. That's not really useful for me. Shadowed Cloak? Excuse me? Shadowed Cloak? When you use the item to the right of this? Yep, okay. Shadowed Cloak is a great target for a lot of enchants. Coded... appear to be on a loss streak. You might have just gotten strong though, so
Not to squabble with nobody.
we'll see. Oh boy, that's a port. Giving all items 1 ammo and charging them for a second. They also all have +1 ammo by default. My shielding, thankfully, is already taken off, and the damage is coming with it.
Like my
Got him.
crew says at the bar, another round.
New food cell skills. There's so many scaling options. I'd really love to have. Vehicle, 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 vehicle. I don't have a vehicle. If you have a vehicle, reduce your non-vehicle items cooldowns by 5%. Sadly, I got rid of my vehicle, which was Race Car. Standardized toxins, small shield items at +9 shield. That's just not enough for me to really ignore the ability to roll here. First time you burn each fight, freeze an item for 3 seconds. Admittedly, huge. When your enemy uses a weapon, your shield items gain 3 shield for the fight from Hardened Shield. That's pretty good, but again, enemies don't really do that, and I have some good scaling already. I wonder if Frostfire is just significantly better, just freezing an item for 3 seconds, buying me a bunch of time.
I do not teach violence. I teach mastery of it.
This is when you shield, charge this 2 seconds. And 5 out of 6 triggers, 5 out of 7 triggers rather, are shield triggers. Okay, so yeah, it's still significantly better than putting the critical core on field. I do really wonder at what, because this is too much. This is too much on my board to be locked, right? Missiles, duct tape, and then rocket launcher all in that order, right? Like, I wonder when this happens. When does this happens? Not yet, I don't think. So every 2 seconds, this is casting. Every 1.5 seconds, this is casting. And this is getting double damage. So basically every 1 second for the sake of scaling, this is casting, which makes it better than missiles in that position, but I really do want to use missiles instead and just cut out a lot of this board so that I can start using other things. I wonder if I should maybe gain some additional burn for the rocket launcher at the moment. Can get the citrus and coconuts. 3 regeneration and 60 max HP. Chocolate bars, even more max HP available there. Sell the pulse rifle and use that space for as many chocolate bars as I can fit in my mouth. Robo Bouncer. Robo Bouncer. Do you have anything that would be relevant to me, or am I just fighting you for the sake of getting... Oh, actually, you have the best skill available in the game for me. Robo Bouncer, please give me Sharpened Steel. When you use a weapon, adjacent items gain 8% crit chance for the fight. That'd be perfect. Legitimately the best thing. Come on. This is the run for it. Dang. Sundra. Every 4 seconds deal 20 damage and your enemy's shield items lose 15 shield for the fight. Bakun sells medium and large items, which I will happily look at.
People. I love them all.
None of these are really going to be what we want. Kinetic cannon when you use a small item. Which small items? Cybersecurity deals double damage if it's your only friend. Missiles is my only friend. Security camera. Shield items have additional crit. No, thank you. Crane. When you use an adjacent large item, this gains 30% damage for the fight. When you use an adjacent medium item, this gains 20% damage for the fight. Miss Isles, standing next to the crane, is capable of, before the crane even activates, giving it 20% additional damage 6 times. Shadowed Cloak would probably go off of the field. Which means Rocket Launcher is suddenly significantly less relevant. I think this gives us a way to actually pivot.
I made a sale.
The damage scaling from Shadowed Cloak no longer matters. What matters is having critical core so that the missiles is rejuvenated. I mean, all of these give an additional second worth of crit to the critical core. I think this is probably so much stronger than what we were just running. Shield skills in Fortis are nice.
Nothing beats the look on your enemy's face when they realize they
Mhm.
just can't hurt you.
When your enemy uses a weapon, your shield items gain 3 shield for the fight. There's microfiber. Your small shield items get plus 18 shield. Nice. Rear shielding. 15 shield to the rightmost. But here's what we're going for. Sharp corners. When you shield, your weapons gain 3 damage for the fight.
Blocking is a lot like striking, but reversed.
I need to see how this goes. I've never actually gotten to use the
Go ahead.
crane.
Underestimate me. It makes this more fun.
Oh boy, that's a weather glass, and you've got dock lines to slow my stuff down. That's not very kind of you. The number on this thing is getting pretty good. But, like, I'm also dying.
Bravery without strength is a sword without a blade.
The burn and poison was probably going to get me no matter which of the builds I was running, but I'm not, like, enthused right now. Increasing the base damage of the crane would give it a lot more scaling, as it's getting 20% of that every single time. Does the critical core... I'm going to confirm this. Yeah, it increases its own crit chance and its own damage. That's about it. Obviously, the crit chance for all of the items to the right of it, but I want this to activate as commonly as possible for the sake of the duct tape. I don't need it to give crit chance to other items. Although I do need a way to find damage from my other items. Let me get the 2 sharpening stones. Goldie. Alright, you sell gold tier items. Find me a good one and I'll use it. 18 additional damage for the crane. Like, 2 additional damage each time it scales. Microdave, Water Cooler, Thermal Lance. Nope. Ah, Brick Buddy. I want to shield many times. I don't want to do individual single large shields, so that's not going to be especially relevant to us. Seraphina sells enchanted items. I gotta be honest, I don't think there's... Like, there could be some heat in there. I'll go look. It's just, I also find this store very, very disappointing a lot of the time. Shield remote control. Oh, a deadly power sander that has the ability to add crit chance to adjacent items. Is this something? Because the crane does need items next to it that are activating constantly. This would have 15% crit chance. Then, deadly power sander to give crit chance to duct tape and nothing? I don't think so. Oh. Okay, yeah, a missiles that has an upgrade. Lovely. Excuse me? Turbo metronome. When you use an adjacent item, give the other adjacent item haste for a second. Does it have to be turbo? Let's get rid of the armadillo. Upgrade missiles. Oh, and I can't get anything else from there. That's fine. I don't think that, in fact, is how the build is going to go, for the moment at least. I'm worried that Ferris Khan will just shoot my face off. I'm quite attached to it. Almost literally. Yeah, none of those items are really that relevant to us either. Enclave Revenant, pretty much the same, but exposing toxins could be okay. Blood Reef Captain. Full arsenal. Your item's cooldown is reduced by 5% if you have a vehicle, 5% if you have a weapon, and 5% if you have a tool. I have a tool. I have a weapon. I mean, that does seem good, but there's also a lot of misses there. Oh wait, Crane is a vehicle. Captain's Wheel is only charged by using a vehicle or a large item, and I have one large vehicle that activates very, very rarely. I'm going for the Enclave Revenant. Come on! Show me the crane getting nutty. That's a nice big number so far. And it's only getting much, much, much bigger. $6,000 is a good amount of damage for a weapon to do, I think. Thurable. When you gain regeneration, burn 3. JJ sells items, and he sells small items. I'm going to go with JJ for the possibility of upgrading any of the other items that matter to me. Power Drill. When you haste, slow, freeze, burn, or poison, charge this 1 second. It would get charged by toxic missiles as well as rocket launcher. Still don't think that's good. When this gains haste, this and the weapon on the left of it gain +5 damage for the fight. No thank you. And first Aiden. We'll roll past those and as well past the Isocoric Freezer. Okay, Crane. How do you scale? Oh. Yep, Crane is our upgrade. It gets 60% from large items and 40% from medium items. Yeah, I definitely have things worth selling for the sake of Fortis's shield skills.
Don't get so defensive, Fortis, but I'm a shield master.
The first 5 times you shield each fight, charge an item 2 seconds. Bugger. I have 10 and then 4, 14, 8. I'm too short of Electrified Hull. Ugh. But it's the best one I could get. I guess I'm just going to take Frontal Shielding instead, which is going to significantly increase the base for our healing. Alright, let's see what this Crane can do. Stevenk. If that is your real name.
I'm not like other Jabarians.
Oh, 4 or fewer items. Oh, you're going to be attacking with an Autobattler constantly, and you're going to be scaling it up. Oh, that's so cool. That's going to give me so much time to scale my Crane. Oh, never mind. It hit 4,664 and it was done. I mean, if a build gives me that time, I'm going to be... Oh boy, this is going to be so good. Ryan sells tools. Let's have a look.
Weapons? Well, that's up to you.
No, I need the I need the activation triggers of these.
It's okay to just browse. It's research.
Fortis sells shield skills.
Battles without ever striking a blow. Just waited for them to collapse.
Oh no. The best thing would be backup defenses. Can I even afford it? 6? Nope. First time you fall below half health each fight, shielding with 30% or max HP would be nice. When you shield, your weapons gain additional damage to the fight. That's not especially relevant, but I can afford it. And your weapons... have +4 damage, and shield items have +4 shield. For each friend you have, we only have one friend on field. I'll take sharp corners.
For armor, not shields. Try my buddy Kev.
Void Golem, you destroy an item, which unfortunately could just be the crane and then we lose. Dang. Alright, Trash Titan. It's you and I. I mean, having a small item charge the crane is really good. I'd be pretty happy about that. Oh my god, it gets to 4,000 regularly before its second fire. Venomander, when you use the item left of this, gain a regen for the fight. Nufu does sell skills, right? The first time you freeze each fight, which will happen the first time we burn, so 6 seconds in, haste your items for 3 seconds. Incredible. Yes. I just need fast. I just need go fast. Speed go fast. 15% critical chance. I mean, that goes on the crane, right? Rukon has weapon skills.
Not everyone can be a worm.
Oh, yes.
You will try. Yes?
Okay, defensive. When you use a weapon, your shield items gain now 6 shield for the fight. That's so much better for my shielding. Flanking shots. The first time you use a large item each fight, adjacent weapons gain 30 damage for the fight. Honestly, not that relevant. The crane does the damage. Frozen shot. When you use your slowest weapon, freeze a smaller item for a second. So the crane would activate that 2 times. Not especially great. Mixed message. When you use a non-weapon item, I only have one of those and it's duct tape. Haste an item for a second. I think I need the defensive stance upgrade. I think it's not even close.
Promised all in to never eat students.
Come on, Dr. Vulcan. Have a big shielding and healing build. Let me get to a giant crane. Don't you dare be subburdened or lava me. I mean, Regal Blade. Is pretty bad for me when the enemy crits me in the face. Twice.
Don't let this get you down.
My crane got to 18,000 damage. But then I also got killed. Well, I say killed. It's actually enchantment time. Oh, with a shield effect. Okay. Well. I got a piggle. Oh, yeah, I'm not supposed to have that. That's a bug. Thurable. Thurable says, shielded when you gain regeneration, shield 15. No. Bushel. Just shields 50 on its own trigger. No. Crane. Well, shield is 150, not that relevant. Rocket launcher, shields 20 on each activation, also not that great. The one we go for now is definitely going to be duct tape, because it just doubles the amount of shielding that duct tape provides you, so it gets up to 98 immediately, and it will get 12 shield each time I use a weapon. And I use a lot of weapons. JJ sells temporary... sorry, JJ sells items. I don't care about the temporary buff. It would get used by the enemy battle, the PvE battle here. DJ Robot, Mama Saw, and Cog. No thank you on those. Lens, when this gains haste, charge it for a second. It gives the core +5 damage for the fight. Welding Torch, Cooling Fan. No.
Maybe I should lower my prices.
I'm going to go to gumballs because I would love to get some crit. Give me as many blue gumballs as you can handle. 2 blue gumballs and 2 yellow ones. Those are definitely my favorite colors. Get some damage. So 4% crit chance for all of our weapons, as well as 6 additional shielding for each item used adjacent to the shielded duct tape. Lord Arkin, I don't think you can do anything to me. Oh, no, I know exactly who you are. I just think you're weaker than a crane. And it's not even close. My crane didn't even get to hit you. A second time. It didn't get to hit you a second time. Gatling gun. Every 4 seconds, deal 20 damage and then reduce the item's cooldown by 20% for the fight. So 4 times 0.8 gets us to 3.2, and then times 0.8, 2.5. And by the time it activates fast enough to be a better scaling for the crane is already killing enemies. So it doesn't replace rocket launcher. Get a tool. Shield item? No. Sharpening stone for additional damage? Yes. The more additional base damage the crane has, the faster it'll scale. Chocolate bars. Admittedly, I still as much max HP as I can get, thank you. I'm definitely going to Bjorn here. I'm looking for any skill that will just freeze enemy stuff immediately. Initial chill. The first time you use a large item each fight, freeze an item for 10 seconds. When you freeze, give your weapons damage. First time you poison freeze, that's 5 seconds. But no, first time I use a large item each fight, freeze for 10 seconds. An enemy item, yes.
It's hard to dislike a paying customer, but I'm up to the challenge.
That could 100% just lock someone out. All right. Speaking of locking someone out, please don't lock me out of my 7th victory here. I would love another chest. There's some synergies going on there when you use an item shield 40. They are getting some shielding. They're burning reasonably. I'm not generating my own shield as quickly as I would like. Oh my god. The crane was literally about to... Look at that. That's why cooldown reduction matters so much. Oh, that was so close. I wouldn't trade that run for the world, though. Six wins, bronze victory, but I get to use the crane for the first time and absolutely destroy enemies with it? Sign me up. Add me to the mailing list. I'll sign the petition. Each and every part. For the moment, let me say that my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been The Bazaar. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. Top left is a series playlist for all of my content of the game, past, present, and future. YouTube recommendations down below. A special thanks this episode to 3D. Much appreciated. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.